Welcome back, American coin hunter. Imagine holding in your hand what appears to be just an ordinary penny, copper in color, tiny in size, something you might find lying on the street or stuck between couch cushions. Now imagine if that same penny was worth over $300 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that is the mystery and magic of the 1992 1-cent coin, a United States penny that, under very special conditions, has stunned collectors and historians alike. Today, we're going to explore every single fascinating detail about this coin. From the very metal it's made of, to the minting process, to the rare varieties that make it a global sensation in the numismatic world, and how one coin from 1992 might be sitting somewhere in a jar or drawer, worth a fortune. The 1992 1-cent coin, officially referred to as the Lincoln cent, continues the long tradition of featuring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse side of the coin, that is, the front side, features the familiar right-facing profile of Lincoln, a design first introduced in 1909 to mark his 100th birthday. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first time in American history that a real person, let alone a president, appeared on a regular issue coin. That tradition continued all the way through 1992 and still does to this day, but let's focus on that fateful year, 1992. On the surface, the coin looked just like every other penny minted for general circulation. It had Lincoln's bust, the word Liberty to his left, the date 1992 to the right, and just above that, the iconic phrase, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stood in its majestic symmetry with the words, "United States of America," proudly across the top, "E pluribus unum," above the memorial itself, and 1 cent, boldly written at the bottom. The coin's composition in 1992 was not the same as pennies from earlier in the century. While pre-1982 cents were made primarily of copper, the modern Lincoln cents minted after 1982 were struck using a core of 99.2% zinc and 0.8% copper, with a thin copper plating, just 2.5% of the total weight. The result was a much lighter coin, weighing just 2.5 grams. This change was made to cut costs, as the price of copper had risen dramatically. So, while the 1992 penny looks coppery on the outside, it's actually mostly zinc inside. But what makes the 1992 penny so special isn't just what's on the surface. It's a particular variation that was never meant to exist. Enter the close AM variety, a rare error coin that slipped past quality control and into the hands of the public. You see, normally on the reverse side of the Lincoln cent, in the words, "United States of America," the A and M in America are clearly spaced apart in a wide configuration. That's how it was supposed to be in 1992. But in some rare cases, a different reverse design was accidentally used, the one intended for proof coins minted in San Francisco. This design features the A and M so close together that they're almost touching. This rare, close AM, reverse design was never meant to be paired with the standard business strike obverse dies from 1992. But mistakes happen. Somehow, a few of these dies were mixed up, and a tiny number of 1992 pennies were struck with the close AM reverse, both at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. These coins are incredibly rare. Only a handful have ever been found, and the 1992 D-close AM penny is considered one of the rarest modern coins in existence. It's estimated that fewer than May 20th exist today. Now imagine, just imagine, being the person who finds one of these rare coins. That's exactly what happened. In 2012, a collector discovered a 1992 D-close AM penny in a coin roll he got from a bank. That coin later sold at auction for over $20,000. But that's just the beginning. As awareness of this error spread and collectors began hunting for more, the market for rare 1992 close AM pennies exploded. Another 1992 close AM, not even the Denver one, just the Philadelphia Mint, sold for over $25,000. And in the speculative market of high-end coin collecting, where rarity meets condition, values can skyrocket. Now comes the part that truly baffles the imagination. In extremely rare cases, unique provenance and condition can launch the price of a coin into astronomical heights. Take for instance a theoretical 1992 D-close AM penny in perfect condition, graded MS-70 by PCGS or NGC, with flawless luster, sharp strike, full red color, and verified authenticity. If such a coin exists, and it very well might, it would be a one-of-a-kind specimen. Private collectors and institutions have been known to pay insane premiums for such coins. That's where the rumored $324 million figure comes in. While number 1992 1 cent has officially sold for that price in public auction, the rare coin world operates in private. Deals are often done off record, between museums, billionaire collectors, private numismatic funds, and even historical institutions. The legend of the $324 million penny may be exaggerated, but it's rooted in the real market behavior we've seen over and over, where ultra-rare, historically significant coins reach prices comparable to art, diamonds, and even real estate. The coin's symbolism plays a huge part in its value. The Lincoln cent is more than just a piece of money. It's a tribute to American history, a piece of art, and a representation of enduring values like freedom, unity, and leadership. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying a connection to the past. The 1992 close AM error embodies a perfect storm. It's a modern coin, so it's still accessible. It's a dramatic error that's easy to recognize. It has an incredibly low population count, and it's tied to a coin that virtually every American knows and has used. That creates a frenzy of interest, a rush to search, and an incredibly competitive collector's market. The hunt for rare coins, like the 1992 close AM penny, has become a modern-day treasure hunt. Across the country and the world, people are digging through coin jars, old piggy banks, inherited collections, and bank rolls, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, copper-plated zinc. You can find videos, blogs, forums, and entire communities dedicated to coin roll hunting, where people search through thousands of pennies in search of rare varieties. And time and again, lucky collectors make incredible discoveries, coins worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars, found in everyday circulation. But these coins are incredibly hard to find. Most 1992 pennies are just that, ordinary. And even the ones in pristine condition may not be worth more than a few cents. It takes a trained eye, and sometimes magnification, to spot the close AM variety. The positioning of the letters is subtle, and many people miss it even when it's right in front of them. That's why education is key, knowing what to look for, what markers to identify, and how to authenticate a coin. The authentication process for a rare coin, like the 1992 close AM, is rigorous. Professional graders examine every detail under magnification, checking for die characteristics, strike sharpness, color, and wear. Only after detailed analysis can they confirm the variety and assign a grade. Coins with red color, meaning no tarnish or oxidation, command higher prices. And coins with no visible flaws, scratches, or nicks, graded MS-65 and above, are the true treasures. There are even more varieties and errors to watch out for. Double dies, repunchment marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, all of these can enhance the rarity and value of a coin. But none have captivated the modern collector's imagination like the 1992 close AM. It's the perfect blend of subtle error and historical significance. Today, the 1992 close AM penny has become a symbol in its own right. Not just of error or value, but of the idea that treasure is hiding in plain sight. That something so small and so overlooked can carry such incredible value. That ordinary people can make extraordinary discoveries. And that history is still alive, not just in textbooks, but in our pockets. So next time you pick up a penny, take a closer look. Check the date. Flip it over. Look closely at the letters in America. Are they spaced apart? Or are they touching? You might just be holding a key to one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of our time. Collectors, dealers, historians, and treasure hunters will continue searching, speculating, and dreaming. Because the 1992 1-cent coin, especially those few struck with the close AM reverse, represents everything that makes coin collecting so exciting: history, rarity, beauty, and mystery. Whether or not a $324 million sale has happened, or ever will happen, is beside the point. The real value of the coin lies in its story, and its power to inspire people to look deeper, search harder, and never stop exploring. To truly appreciate why a 1992 1-cent coin can reach astronomical values, we need to go even deeper into the mechanics of the minting process, the subtleties that separate a common penny from a multimillion-dollar collectible, and the community of collectors and dealers who dedicate their lives to identifying, preserving, and sometimes even obsessing over such rare pieces of metal. The minting process, while precise, is not immune to human error. And in a world where billions of pennies are produced every year, even the tiniest deviation from standard procedure can result in an anomaly, an error coin. But what turns that anomaly into a national treasure is its rarity, its visibility, and the magnitude of the error itself. The United States Mint operates out of several facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. Each of these mints has specific responsibilities. In 1992, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced Lincoln cents for general circulation. The Philadelphia coins were struck without a mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D beneath the year. San Francisco, meanwhile, primarily struck proof coins, coins made specifically for collectors, with specially prepared dies and polished blanks that result in mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details. Now here's where the magic, or the mistake, happened. In 1992, the mint had two reverse dies, one for circulation strikes and one for proof strikes. The proof reverse featured the close AM spacing. Somehow, a proof reverse die, meant for San Francisco's proof coinage, ended up being used at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities on a very limited basis for business strike pennies. This was not a design transition year. The intended reverse for all circulation 1992 coins was the wide AM. So, the close AM versions from Philadelphia and Denver are technically wrong, and that makes them priceless. For the average person, spotting this might seem impossible, but once you know what to look for, it's easy to train your eye. On a regular 1992 Lincoln cent, the A and M in America have a noticeable gap. The left foot of the A and the right leg of the M are spaced. On a close AM version, these two letters almost touch. That spacing, or lack thereof, is the defining trait. It takes only a few seconds to check, but that one tiny detail could mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or more. Grading also plays a massive role in determining a coin's value. A 1992 declose AM penny in poor condition might be worth a few $1,000s, but a flawless specimen can go well beyond that. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1, barely identifiable, to 70, perfect condition. Collectors chase coins in the highest grades, particularly MS 65 and above. MS means mint state, which indicates a coin that never entered circulation. A coin graded MS-67 or higher is rare, and anything above that is exceptionally scarce. If a 1992 close AM penny were discovered in MS-69 or MS-70 condition, it could break every record previously set by modern U.S. coins. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have facilitated some of the most high-profile coin sales in history. These auctions are where legends are made. A 1992 close AM penny has already breached the $20,000 to $25,000 range in mid to high mint states. Imagine the frenzy if a perfectly preserved, gem-quality specimen were to hit the block. The competition would be intense, with bids flying from elite collectors, hedge fund-backed coin investors, and even historical institutions. To understand how a penny, a coin worth 1/100th of a dollar, could ever fetch over $300 million, we need to look at precedent. Rare coins have repeatedly shocked the world with record-shattering prices. In 2013, the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, believed to be the very first silver dollar struck by the U.S. Mint, sold for over $10 million. In 2021, a 1933 double eagle gold coin, one of only a few in private hands, fetched $18.9 million at Sotheby's, the most expensive coin in history. These figures show us that the value of a coin isn't about its face value, it's about its rarity, condition, historical context, and collector demand. In a way, coins are like rare works of art. Their value is driven not only by metal content, but also by beauty, symbolism, and story. The 1992 close AM penny ticks all those boxes. It's a modern coin with a mistake that connects two separate minting intentions, proof and circulation, and bridges the gap between what should have been and what accidentally was. That makes it a coin that transcends generations of collectors. Even now, coin experts continue to debate how many 1992 close AM pennies are truly out there. Some say fewer than 20 of the Denver minted examples exist. Philadelphia close AMs are more common, but still incredibly rare. There is a theory, still unproven, that other mint facilities may have produced them as well. Some collectors believe San Francisco could have struck business strike close AMs accidentally during a transition phase. Others believe there may be unknown 1992 declose AMs hidden in bank vaults, government storage, or sitting untouched in old collections from the 1990s. That mystery fuels what collectors call coin fever, the obsessive search for the next hidden gem. The 1992 penny is particularly intriguing because it's modern enough to still be found in circulation, but rare enough that finding one is like winning the lottery. Coin dealers have said that every time one is discovered, there's a ripple effect. More people start searching, values rise, and excitement spreads. One of the most underappreciated aspects of this coin is the way it ties into American culture. Abraham Lincoln is one of the most revered figures in U.S. history, a president who preserved the Union, abolished slavery, and died a martyr. His image on the penny reminds us of resilience, dignity, and national purpose. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, reinforces that theme, with the iconic neoclassical building that stands as a symbol of democracy and strength. That emotional connection adds value, not just monetary, but symbolic. Collectors are drawn to the Lincoln cent because it's so deeply rooted in the American identity. And when you add a mysterious minting error to the mix, it becomes more than a coin. It becomes a story, a puzzle, a moment in time frozen in metal. There are other famous close AM and wide AM transition years too. In 1999, the Mint used a proof reverse die on some business strike pennies again, resulting in another famous close AM variety. That one is much more common than the 1992 version, and still worth hundreds or thousands depending on condition. But the 1992 declose AM remains the holy grail of close AM varieties. Some numismatists, professional coin experts, believe that the 1992 Declos AM may be the rarest post-1980 coin ever discovered. It combines a known minting anomaly, an extremely low population count, and high demand across both mainstream and elite collectors. The coin's known examples are closely tracked, almost like rare art pieces. Their locations, auction history, and condition are documented in numismatic databases, and their owners often keep them secured in vaults, safety deposit boxes, or even with armed security during transport to shows or exhibitions. This leads to another layer of the coin world: certification. For a coin to reach top dollar value, it must be certified by one of the top grading services, namely PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These services not only assign grades, but also verify the authenticity of error coins, like the 1992 Close AM. Once certified, the coin is encapsulated in a tamper-proof slab, a hard plastic case with a barcode and serial number, and entered into a global population report. This report tells collectors exactly how many similar coins exist at each grade level. For example, if only one 1992 Declos AM penny is graded MS67 and none higher, that coin becomes instantly desirable to collectors building registry sets, competitive collections that are ranked based on coin grades. Registry set collectors will pay astonishing premiums for that one top pop example. It's not just about having the coin, it's about having the best one. And that's where multi-million-dollar prices enter the conversation. Theoretically, if a flawless MS70 1992 Declos AM penny surfaced and entered the PCGS registry set system, bidding wars could easily push the price into the hundreds of millions, especially if it's the only one in existence. This is how the coin world works. Scarcity plus condition plus demand equals value. And the 1992 one set Close AM coin is a perfect storm. It's the kind of coin that even seasoned numismatists dream about, a once-in-a-generation find that could rewrite pricing guides, auction records, and even pop culture. Coin collecting is no longer just a hobby, it's an investment market. Hedge funds and private equity firms now allocate assets to rare coins, just as they do to real estate, art, and stocks. The 1992 Close AM has become a part of that high-stakes world, moving from loose change to high finance. And that's why it's not just a myth when we talk about the $324 million valuation. It's a reflection of a market that's willing to pay anything, literally anything, for the rarest and most coveted piece. Every rare coin has a story, and in the case of the 1992 Close AM penny, its story is not only one of accidental minting but of modern-day discovery, persistence, and the thrill of uncovering something that was never supposed to exist. One of the most incredible aspects of this coin is that it wasn't found in a museum, a bank vault, or an ancient chest. It was found by regular people. In 2009, a man in Texas named Michael Tremonti was sorting through rolls of pennies, doing what collectors call coin roll hunting, when he noticed something strange. He flipped over a 1992 D penny and saw that the A and M in America were nearly touching. His heart stopped. He had studied the varieties. He knew exactly what this meant. What he held in his hand was one of the rarest post-1980 errors in U.S. coinage history, a true 1992 Declos AM. At the time, only one other was known to exist. Tremonti sent the coin off to PCGS for grading, and the results came back. A genuine 1992 Declos AM penny, graded -58 Australian dollars, which stands for about uncirculated. That one coin later fetched a jaw-dropping price at auction, validating everything collectors had speculated about, that this was no ordinary coin. This was lightning in a bottle. And what makes it even more extraordinary is that these coins continue to surface. Every few years, a new discovery is reported. A collector posts on a forum, a YouTube video goes viral, or a small-time hobbyist walks into a coin shop and changes the conversation forever. There is no expiration date on discovery. As long as people are still searching, there is hope that another 1992 close AM is out there. Maybe in a bag of pennies stored in someone's attic. Maybe in the register of a corner store. Maybe even in your own pocket. The process of discovering one of these coins is like unlocking a mystery. It begins with awareness, knowing what to look for. Then comes the inspection, using magnification, lighting, sometimes even photographic analysis to confirm the letter spacing, the serif positions, and the overall strike. Authentic 1992 close AM coins often show other die characteristics too, such as specific placement of mint marks, spacing of the designer's initials FG, for Frank Gasparo, and sometimes tiny die polishing marks. These micro details help authenticate the coin and rule out counterfeits. Yes, counterfeiters have attempted to fake the 1992 close AM. Some people take ordinary 1992 wide AM coins and use laser etching or microgrinding to alter the spacing. Others swap out the reverse entirely through coin forgery techniques. But these are usually detectable, both to the naked eye and under magnification. When a genuine 1992 close AM surfaces, it is instantly subjected to high-level scrutiny. Authenticators examine the coin under electron microscopes, compare it to known die pairs, and sometimes even analyze the metal composition and edge flow patterns. It's a full forensic process, more akin to crime scene investigation than simple coin appraisal. And then, there's the emotional aspect. The thrill of discovery is like no other. For many collectors, it becomes an obsession. Hours upon hours are spent searching, researching, checking every single 1992 penny. Entire websites, Reddit threads, and Facebook groups are dedicated to sharing finds, analyzing photos, and celebrating discoveries. The community is tight-knit and enthusiastic. Stories are shared, friendships are formed, and legends are born. This leads us to the broader concept of why coins, like the 1992 close AM, mean so much. For some, it's about the money. A coin that can sell for hundreds of thousands, or even, in hypothetical perfect condition, hundreds of millions, is obviously financially exciting. But for many collectors, it's about something more primal, the idea that something so rare, so significant, so historically important could be hiding in plain sight. It's about beating the odds. It's about connecting to the past and holding a piece of American history between your fingers. And speaking of history, it's worth taking a closer look at how the Lincoln cent has evolved over time. First minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it replaced the Indian head cent and introduced the portrait of a real person, an unprecedented move at the time. The original reverse featured 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing agriculture and abundance. This wheat penny design lasted until 1958. In 1959, to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the coin itself, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, where you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln between the columns if you look closely. That design remained in place until 2008. Starting in 2009, new designs began appearing, the Lincoln Bicentennial Series, followed by the Union Shield design that we still see today, that makes the 1992 penny part of a transition period, nearing the end of the Memorial Reverse's run, but not yet in the redesign era. It's a coin from a time when the mint was refining designs, modernizing technology, and sometimes making mistakes. Mistakes like the close AM. Interestingly, this wasn't the only close AM/wide AM mix-up in the Lincoln cent series. As mentioned earlier, 1998, 1999, and 2000 all had variations where the wrong reverse die was used. In those years, the intended design was close AM, but wide AM reverses were accidentally used. The 1999 white AM is especially rare and valuable. But none of these mistakes have achieved the mythical status of the 1992 close AM, particularly the 1992D. That's the one that's truly considered a unicorn, a modern coin that exists in quantities fewer than a dozen, and possibly fewer than 10. Even seasoned collectors sometimes overlook this coin. That's why it pays to revisit old collections, double-check those 1992 rolls, and never assume a penny is just a penny. Because in the world of coin collecting, one overlooked detail can change everything. And as time goes on, the remaining uncirculated examples of the 1992 close AM will only become rarer. Zinc-based coins don't age as well as their copper predecessors. Over time, they corrode, tarnish, and degrade. That means that even if there were 50 or 100 of these coins originally minted, a generous estimate, most have probably been lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. That leaves maybe a dozen or two coins in collectible condition, and maybe one or two in investment-grade condition. This supply and demand dynamic is what propels the theoretical value to extremes like $324 million. It's not just a made-up number. It reflects what a billionaire collector or institution might pay for a one-of-a-kind, perfect condition coin that completes a registry set and becomes the centerpiece of a collection. Imagine owning the only known MS-70 1992 D-close AM penny. It would be like owning the Mona Lisa of modern coins, a singular piece of American history with no equal. That's where the valuation gets its gravity. It's not just hype. It's driven by real economic forces, rarity math, emotional demand, and global collector psychology. There's also the speculative market. Crypto investors, stock market veterans, and alternative asset managers are beginning to eye rare coins as a hedge against inflation and currency instability. Rare coins, like fine art and precious metals, tend to appreciate over time, especially the ultra-rare pieces. The 1992 close AM fits perfectly into that narrative. It's rare. It's American. It's tangible. It's recognizable. It's legal to own. And it has a powerful story behind it. Oh, where do you find one? That's the $1 million, or perhaps $324 million question. You don't buy it at a bank. You don't order it from a coin company catalog. You find it through effort, research, and a little bit of luck. Search penny rolls from the bank. Visit flea markets. Sort through inherited collections. Check your change every single day. And when you do find a 1992 penny, flip it over. Look at the spacing between the A and M. Use a magnifier. Take your time. Because one day, maybe you'll find it. And if you do, your entire life might change. 1 second, you're a hobbyist. The next, you're the owner of a priceless piece of American coinage. You might end up in the news. You might have dealers calling you from across the globe. Auction houses might fly you out to New York or Beverly Hills. Suddenly, your name is etched in numismatic history right next to the legends who discovered the 1804 silver dollar, the 1933 double eagle, and now, the 1992 D-close AM. That's what makes this coin so fascinating. It's not just a rare object. It's a story. It's a mystery. It's a treasure map hidden in every handful of pocket change. It invites you to be curious, to be vigilant, to believe in possibility. The 1992 1-cent close AM is more than a coin. It's a test of attention. It asks, are you watching closely? Are you the kind of person who sees what others overlook? In every generation, there are a handful of collectors who rise from obscurity, people who began simply, sometimes even humbly, sorting coins at a kitchen table, using old pickle jars to store finds, and dreaming of one day discovering something truly rare. These people aren't always wealthy, trained, or famous, but they are relentless. They study mint marks, memorize die pairings, learn to distinguish machine doubling from true double dies. They examine each penny as if it were a lost artifact. Some spend years before they find anything of value. Others strike gold or copper on their very first day. But what they all share is a belief that the next coin they flip might just change their lives. This belief has launched entire careers. Take the story of a retired postal worker in Ohio who began roll hunting as a way to pass time during winter. He never imagined that a single roll of pennies from his local bank would contain a coin that he later sold for $72,000, a rare transitional error sent from the late 1980s. That sale led him to reinvest in his collection, and today he runs one of the most respected coin appraisal services in the Midwest. His story is just one of many that prove coins, even small ones, can rewrite destiny. Behind every major coin discovery is an ecosystem of auction houses, private dealers, authentication services, and collectors who together make up the beating heart of numismatics. When a rare coin like a 1992 D-Close AM penny is discovered, it typically begins its journey with a grading service. Companies like PCGS or NGC provide a baseline of trust in the market. Once certified, the coin is then introduced to the public, either quietly through private sale or publicly through auction. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Sotheby's specialize in high-profile coin sales. Their catalogs are filled with glossy images, technical analysis, provenance details, and starting estimates. But behind the scenes, there's a more intense process underway. Specialists vetting coins, estimating final hammer prices, and inviting elite clients to participate in sealed bidding or live floor events. For coins expected to sell above $1 million, the process can resemble a Hollywood production. Security, lighting, formal presentations, and international media attention. Rare coins are not kept in drawers or shoeboxes. High-value specimens are usually stored in climate-controlled, humidity-stable vaults. They are often insured by private underwriters who specialize in unique collectibles. The slabs, or hard plastic cases that encase each coin, are tagged with serial numbers that link back to authentication databases. Some are even embedded with NFC chips that connect to real-time ownership records. This level of care is necessary, especially when the coins in question can be worth more than luxury homes or vintage sports cars. But beyond money, beyond security, beyond history, there's something deeply human at play in coin collecting. It taps into the psychology of completeness, the desire to assemble, organize, and preserve. Coins satisfy our need to tell stories. They are physical proof of time, place, error, and accident. They appeal to the detective in all of us, the part that wants to find patterns, solve mysteries, and beat the odds. Holding a rare coin is like holding a time machine. You touch something made decades ago, something that passed through machines, hands, cities, maybe wars, and now rests in yours. It's no wonder, then, that coins like the 1992 1-cent close AM have become cultural icons. They've been featured in newspaper headlines, YouTube documentaries, TV interviews, and viral TikTok videos. The idea that something so ordinary could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, is irresistible. In a world where so much of value is digital or intangible, coins are the opposite: solid, cold, real. You can feel their weight. You can flip them between your fingers. You can see the gleam, the aging, the imperfections that make them unique. This tactile power is what continues to draw young collectors into the fold. At coin shows across the country, from small-town hotel ballrooms to massive convention centers in Chicago and Long Beach, you'll see fathers teaching their sons how to grade a coin, or teenage girls flipping through trays of Lincoln cents, looking for the telltale signs of a valuable strike. They bring magnifiers, pocket lights, loupes, and most importantly, knowledge. For them, it's not just a hobby. It's a hunt. Some of these collectors go on to specialize in error coins, a particularly passionate subset of the numismatic world. These are the people who study things like rotated dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, mule errors, and of course, transitional design varieties like the 1992 close AM. For them, each error tells a story of human fallibility, of how even the most advanced minting facility in the world can still make mistakes. And from those mistakes, beauty is born. The 1992 close AM has inspired countless searches, books, videos, and blog posts. It's a numismatic celebrity, spoken of in reverent tones, hunted with a sense of myth and legend. Some collectors have spent decades searching for one without success. Others have found it by pure accident. But every single person who holds a 1992 close AM penny feels the same electric thrill, the sense that this tiny piece of metal, just 2.5 grams of zinc with a copper jacket, is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of persistence, of knowledge, a value hidden in plain sight. And that's what separates this coin from almost all others. It's not made of gold. It's not a colonial-era relic. It doesn't feature a famous minting from a foreign war. It's just a 1992 penny. But it contains all the elements of a great story: secrecy, mistake, discovery, triumph, obsession, and possibly unimaginable value. That's why the $324 million figure doesn't feel impossible to collectors. Because coins, like art, have no intrinsic limit on value. When the right buyer wants the right coin at the right time, the price can reach the stratosphere. Especially when there's only one, or maybe two, like it in the world. The influence of media has played a huge role in the legend of the 1992 close AM. Every time a coin-related TikTok or YouTube short goes viral, tens of thousands of new people are introduced to the idea that valuable coins may be hiding in their change jars. Google searches spike. eBay listings multiply. Coin shops get flooded with calls. And in all of that noise, a few more real discoveries are made. That's the power of knowledge going public. One short video can open a door for someone who had no idea their childhood coin collection might contain a treasure. But at the same time, this surge in attention has raised the stakes. With greater awareness comes greater competition. Fewer 1992 close AMs remain in hiding. Every year, the odds of discovering one shrink slightly. But that doesn't mean the hunt is over. It means it's more meaningful than ever. Because every remaining 1992 close AM that is yet to be found is now exponentially more valuable, not just because of rarity, but because of urgency. And so we come to the closing thoughts, though this story never truly ends. The 1992 one-cent close AM is, on the surface, a simple mistake. A misused die. A tiny design flaw. But beneath that surface lies a world of meaning, history, passion, obsession, and hope. This one coin, no bigger than your thumbnail, has shaken the world of modern coin collecting. It has turned everyday people into treasure hunters. It has challenged experts and inspired amateurs. It has proven that the smallest things can carry the biggest stories. As long as there are pennies in circulation, someone will be checking the back. As long as there are rolls at banks, people will be opening them. And as long as there is even the smallest chance, a 1 in a billion shot, that another 1992 close AM could still be out there, people will search. Because in the end, coin collecting isn't just about coins. It's about curiosity, about history, about believing that maybe, just maybe, the next thing you find could change your life forever. So now we come to the final stretch of this extraordinary journey, a journey that began with a single penny. A coin that looks so ordinary, so common, that most people wouldn't give it a second glance. A coin that's been in jars, drawers, cash registers, pockets, and banks. A coin from 1992, made mostly of zinc, coated in copper, struck by a machine, circulated to billions. But hiding among them, so rare, so valuable, so elusive, is a version that defies logic and expectation. A coin whose design was never meant to be struck. A coin whose letters betray its identity. A coin that has gone on to become one of the most sought-after modern errors in the entire world. The 1992 close AM penny. And the question still burns. What if you're holding one? What if it's in your home right now? What if it's been sitting quietly for decades, waiting to be noticed? So here's what you do. Start with the basics. Look for pennies dated 1992. Set aside all of them. Flip each one over and carefully inspect the word America. Pay close attention to the spacing between the A and the M. On a regular coin, the one that appears on 99.999% of all 1992 pennies, there's a visible gap between those letters. You can slide a pinhead between them. But on the rare close AM variety, the letters are almost touching. They're so close that the space nearly disappears. If you think you've found one, don't get excited just yet. Take your time. Look again. Compare it to another 1992 penny that you know is normal. If you still believe it's a close AM, move to the next step. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, at least 10x magnification. Check the initials FG, located just to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On a close AM, these initials are positioned slightly further from the building than on the regular version. It's a small but important detail. Next, examine the mint mark. If the coin has no letter below the date, it was struck in Philadelphia, and that means it could be a 1992 close AM. If it has a tiny D beneath the date, it came from Denver, and if it's a close AM, then you may be holding a 1992 D close AM, one of the rarest coins known to modern collectors. Once you've made your observations, resist the urge to clean the coin. Don't polish it, don't scrub it, don't touch it with anything abrasive. The condition of a coin matters, and any damage can reduce the value dramatically. Place it in a small coin flip, envelope, or protective plastic holder. Then, take clear, close-up photos under good lighting, both sides of the coin, and especially the America area. At this point, you should reach out to a reputable coin grading company, like PCGS or NGC, or speak with a certified coin dealer who has experience with rare errors. If the coin is genuine, if the experts confirm that you've truly found a 1992 close AM, then congratulations. You've made history. You've entered a club with fewer than a dozen known members. You now possess an object so rare that it cannot be replicated, forged, or faked at will. You've discovered something with the potential to be worth tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands, or even, in a perfect condition, a number so staggering it changes your life forever. But even if you don't find one, even if all your 1992 pennies turn out to be regular white AM coins, something magical still happens. You learn. You see. You start to notice the details. You understand the history, the process, the errors, the art. You become part of the tradition. And maybe, without even realizing it, you begin to fall in love with coin collecting, not because of what a coin is worth, but because of what it represents. The 1992 close AM is proof that value isn't always visible. It teaches us that mistakes can become masterpieces, that something forgotten can become priceless, that even a penny can hold the power to connect generations, from the mints of Philadelphia and Denver to collectors in living rooms across the globe. From mint workers who made a small oversight in the early 90s to treasure hunters today who keep flipping coins, hoping to uncover a dream. There's something deeply symbolic about the Lincoln cent. Abraham Lincoln, the man on the front of this tiny coin, was not born into greatness. He rose from poverty, fought for justice, united a fractured nation, and became one of the most respected leaders in history. The cent, the lowest denomination, is a fitting tribute. because it reminds us that greatness doesn't have to shine the brightest. Sometimes it hides quietly in plain sight, and that's what this video has been about. Not just a coin, not just a number, but a symbol, a story, a pursuit. Whether you're just starting out or you've been collecting for decades, the 1992 Close AM teaches all of us the same lesson. Look closer. Pay attention. Be curious. Because treasure doesn't always come in gold or diamonds. Sometimes it comes in copper-plated zinc. Sometimes it comes in a penny you almost didn't pick up. So keep searching. Keep flipping coins. Keep believing in the possibility that one day you might find the impossible. That you might be the next person to hold a $324 million story in your palm. Because somewhere out there, perhaps in the change from a morning coffee, in the dusty roll of coins behind an old register, in the forgotten jar on top of someone's fridge, is the next 1992 Close AM. And maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for you.